In news from the criminal courts, we learned that one man faces firearms charges while another was booked on multiple charges, including assault and reckless endangerment. We begin on St. Thomas, where 20-year-old Willie Gatewood II was arrested on October 26th after police responded to a report of several men acting suspiciously at the racetrack gas station. Officers arriving on scene entered the convenience store attached to the station and saw the men inside dressed in black and huddling closely together, speaking in low tones. The men stared at the officers, and a concerned citizen told police that the group of three had been acting suspiciously since they entered the store. The police called for backup since they were outnumbered, and by the time assistance arrived, the men had left the store and were walking on 7th Street towards the St. Andrew's Church. Officers then circled around to 6th Street and made contact. All three were told that they would be frisked, and one, who initially showed reluctance, told police that he had a knife in his waistband. The man, later identified as Willie Gatewood II, directed police to the knife and it was removed. However, when questioned about the hard object an officer felt in the black fanny pack Gatewood had slung over his right shoulder, he refused to answer. A search of the fanny pack yielded a black and silver gun. Gatewood then admitted that he was not licensed to carry a firearm and was placed under arrest. The weapon was identified by forensics as a 9mm Taurus with one black magazine containing 7 rounds. One bullet was in the chamber of the gun. Gatewood was charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm and possession of ammunition and appeared in court on Wednesday, where a judge ruled that he be allowed to post 10% of his $25,000 bail to secure his release. He must turn in his New York ID, but will still be allowed to drive. He is barred from leaving the St. Thomas-St. John district without the court's written permission and must not obtain any other form of identification. Gatewood is to maintain his employment and must abide by a 9 p.m. to 6 p.m. curfew from Sunday to Friday and 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. on Saturdays. Gatewood is to stay away from the racetrack gas station near 7th Street and is prohibited from obtaining a firearm, ammunition, or any dangerous weapon. His next appearance in court will be on November 11th. Meanwhile, 41-year-old Kelly Ublees was arrested on October 25th after 911 was called to dispatch an ambulance following a fight between two men. Officers from the Richard Colwood Command also reported to the Crush nightclub, where one man was reportedly bleeding after a fight. Upon arrival, the officers were told that 2 stabbing victims were already on their way to the Schneider Regional Medical Center for treatment. Preliminary investigations revealed that there was a physical altercation at the nightclub between 3 men near the bar closest to the men's restroom. The brawl began there and moved to the stage area, and that's where security footage captured Ublees jumping into the scrimmage, reportedly coming to the defense of one man who was being attacked by 2 others. Before the brawl moved back to the men's bathroom area, cameras near the stage captured one man injured and bleeding, and also captured the stabbing motion Ublees made with his right hand while holding his target, another man, in his left. At one point, with the fight now only between Ublees and that same individual, footage reportedly showed Ublees stabbing the man in his back. He then threw his opponent to the floor and fought with him there until the man's brother struck Ublees in the head with a closed fist, temporarily stunning the brawler. Ublees was left lying motionless on the ground, holding a bloody knife in his right hand. At one point, he tried to get to his feet but could not, and a security officer took the opportunity to disarm the dazed man. When Ublees was finally able to get up and stagger off, a black firearm fell from his person. The security officer made a move towards that weapon as well, but was stopped by 2 off-duty police officers who happened to be at the club. They took custody of the firearm until their on-duty colleagues arrived. Camera footage revealed that both stabbing victims and Ublees himself all left the club before law enforcement arrived. Police learned the victims were privately transported to hospital, treated, and released. The third person involved in the brawl before Ublees stepped in was also hospitalized, but due to the extent of his injuries was not released until 2 days afterwards. A background check was conducted on Ublees, which revealed that he had a previous felony conviction stemming from 2002. He was then arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree assault, 2 counts of third-degree assault, possession of a dangerous weapon during a crime of violence, unlawful possession of a firearm, felon in possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of ammunition, reckless endangerment, and a disturbance of the peace by fighting. In court on Wednesday, a judge ruled that Ublis would only be released if he could fully secure his $100,000 bail. If successful, he will be released to a third-party custodian, but will be barred from leaving the St. Thomas and John district without the court's written permission and must turn in his Virgin Islands driver's license. Ublis must report to the probation office twice a week and abide by a daily curfew of 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. He is prohibited from possessing a firearm, ammunition, or dangerous weapon. Ublis is banned from entering Crush nightclub and from having contact with the alleged victims or any witness while the matter is pending. His next appearance in court is also on November 11th.